Hello again, everybody. Jim Hickey, also known as @Bass Fishing Tips on Twitter, back to you with something I promised a while back, and that's a review of the RAH Tackle Wacky Worm kit that I received, well, I guess close to 2 months ago. But I wanted to put it into use before I actually did the review, and I've done that, and it works quite effectively. Okay, so what am I talking about? Well, here's the kit. Sells for about 28 bucks, I think, on the RAH Tackle site. Comes with, I believe, 21 soft stick baits, 5-inch June bug, green pumpkin, and watermelon red flake. A variety of smaller EWG hooks. I think they're size 1, 1/0, and 2/0 if I recall. A wacky rig tool up here, pretty cool, and some extra O-rings, etc. And they advertise it as a wacky rig kit, so that's what you'd expect from it. But to me, it's actually more of a weightless soft stick bait kit, because if you use like the 2/0 hook, the bigger of the hooks they give you, and rig the worm, the soft stick bait from the tail side, because it's not really big enough to do it from the thicker side, the side you normally would. You could also Texas rig it, okay? But there's one thing I did, is I took some of my 3/0 hooks, EWG hooks that I use, like those available in the RAH Tackle EWG set, and put those into it, because I usually use 3/0 or 4/0 EWG hooks to rig 5-inch baits Texas style, and that therefore I could rig it conventionally. So just one little addition, and you take that wacky rig kit to a weightless soft stick bait kit. Okay, right out of the box. Okay, but let's get back to the wacky rig section of this thing real quickly, and I'll show you how you do that. And I'm going to show you one little twist that most people don't do. So first of all, I'm going to open the kit. I didn't try this before. It's all right here. You can see, there's worms missing. Well, that's because I've been using them. There's hooks missing because I've been using them, etc. Also gives you the wacky rig tool. Okay, on a lanyard, so you can affix it to your PFD, to your, in my case, my kayak, whatever the case may be. One of the eyelets on it, and get ready to go. And then I pulled out already one of the, I think that's the number 1 EWG hook, which is something I'll use in open water situations where there's sparse weeds and not a lot of cover. And if it's really sparse, I'll go up to the number 1/0 or 2/0 hook to do that, just because you get a better hookup percentage sometimes. But most of the time when people show you how to do this, you use the wacky rig tool here, put the worm in it like this, so. And by the way, this is big enough where you could actually get a 6-inch worm in here too if you had some of those, just to say, or a 4-inch, whatever the case may be. So it's quite adaptable to what you're doing. But once you get the worm placed in it, the soft stick bait, you want to take one of the O-rings that are up here in the shaft, okay, up here, loose, and start to slide it down the barrel, like here, okay, and slide it all the way off. And then what I do is I try to get it right at the, what would be the egg sac on the worm, that little flat area in the middle of it, right there. And that's the way most people will tell you how to do the wacky rig using an O-ring. And of course, that will help you save soft stick baits, because if you rig it through the worm, and a fish wiggles, you can throw it off, or definitely if it slides up the line, cut right through it and it's gone, and one fish and you're done. And of course, then you can take your EWG hook, put it under the O-ring, and you're ready to rock and roll. Not put it through the O-ring, put it under the O-ring, like that. The one thing I don't like about that is, see how it, it's almost more to go, the hook's actually in line with the whole length of the worm, and I don't like it. And so when you try to turn it this way, perpendicular to it, which is the way I like, you should be fishing a wacky worm, and they all showed you from day one, and that's definitely the way it happens if you just hook the worm directly. It doesn't allow you to do that. It's going to twist a little bit. Now this is great for like a Nico rig, so if you do a nail weight in here, you're ready to go in a Nico weight, but that's not what we're trying to do. We're just trying to wacky worm. So there's a little trick here I'm going to show you on how to make this work a little better for this application. And we're going to put the worm back in the tool, and I'm going to take a second O-ring, slide it down, pop it on right beside the other one. Okay, so right now, as you can see, I've got the two O-rings. Let me cut off to the side here. Here we go. There we go. But what I'm going to do is I'm now going to take them and I'm going to actually cross them over one another. Take one of them and cross it over the other one. All right. So you're going to have them extra cross each other, like so. Okay. So they're actually crossed over. So now there's a little X point in there. So now what I can do is I can take that hook, which I'm having a hard time seeing with the sun glare in my eyes coming off the side here, bring it up through that so it's under that cross point. Okay. And now that's sitting perpendicular to the worm, just like you would if you were to hook it directly through the worm. Okay, that still allows it to slide up the line a little bit, get out of the way, get a better hook set. And because the line isn't through the worm, it's not going to cut through as easily. And as far as I'm concerned, that's the way you're supposed to do a wacky worm. And I just like that action a whole lot better. So I started using the double O-ring method. We cross them over one another in order to create that X. Allows you to put the hook under it, and you're ready to rock and roll on a traditional wacky worm. So keep that in mind. The RAH Tackle Wacky Worm kit is really cool. Gives you plenty of O-rings to start out. They sell extra O-rings on the site. I think it's like $150 for several dollars, so not that big of a deal. The other thing is, if you tear up the bait and don't lose it, okay, but it gets to the point where you don't want to fish it anymore, you can actually slide those O-rings off and use them again. Hint, hint, hint. So a way to save some money. And pretty cool little deal. Like I said, that's with the number 1 EWG hook. Okay, I use that in the 1/0 commonly. And if it's a really open area, I might go up to the 2/0, but so forth. So, with what comes in the kit directly, you're ready to go with a wacky rig with my preferred method. Add some, in my mind, 3/0 EWG hooks like those available from RAH Tackle, and you can do an unweighted Texas rig. And later I'll show you how to make a few more additions to the kit in another video that'll show you how to make it even more adaptable and versatile, but that's coming forward in the near future. Have a great day. We'll be back to you soon. Tight lines and full live wells all.